Hi, I'm Martha and this is Chris, and we're going to tell you how to succeed in honors chemistry.
To be successful in chemistry, you have to have courage, curiosity, compassion, and character.
So people are probably telling you sophomore year is the hardest year because you have to take chemistry. At least that's what I was told. But honestly, you can get an A if you try. I'm not saying it's easy, but if you study a little every day, do your homework, and ask questions, and learn from your mistakes, an A is attainable. First, you have to pay attention and take notes in class. Block period chemistry can be a bit tedious, so you should do everything you can to stay focused. Sit by your friends so you can help each other, but don't sit by them to talk about things that aren't chemistry. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to answer questions and actively participate in group activities. Be courageous and don't be afraid to talk to the teacher because they're there to help you and they want to help you get an A. Take notes when the teacher is talking. For me, it's hard to write down everything the teacher is saying, but if you copy down the work they do on the board, you can follow along more easily and study later.
It is essential to attend tutoring if you're having trouble with chemistry and if you're unsure about some details. I find tutoring very helpful before difficult tests or after I just bombed the test. Tutoring is very helpful because it allows you to get extra chem help with some people that know what they're doing. There's a schedule posted on Moodle, so make sure to check it out and get to tutoring. If you prefer a one-on-one tutor, no worries, just email paidintutoring@gmail.com or contact Mr. Kinderman and he will set a private tutoring with an AP Chem student. If you are struggling with chemistry, have the courage to ask for help no matter how dumb you think your questions are. Remember, there's no such thing as stupid questions when it comes down to chemistry.
I love labs because they're more interactive than just listening to the teacher lecture for an hour and a half. Just make sure you read over the lab and do the pre-lab the night before so you aren't lost when it's time to do the lab. The lab will be on Moodle at least a day before, so don't forget to print them out. At first you might look at this big packet and say, whoa, what is this? I've never seen this before and I'm not a chemist. But if you look through it, you can see the concepts that are the same as the ones in the chapter you're learning. Be curious because that's how you'll learn. Maybe research the lab or make a flow chart of the procedure so you understand the purpose of each step.
Homework is the most important part of being successful in chemistry. The homework that chem teachers assign is practice for what you have been learning in class, and if you don't practice what you're learning, it's never going to stick in your head. Before any homework assignment, you want to read a chapter that the homework is based off of and do the self-check exercises along the way. I know it's a pain to read the book, and I hate doing it as well, but without reading, I wouldn't have an A in the class. Reading the chapter makes achieving an A so much easier, and trust me, it pays off. You're able to check the answers along the way, and once you have the concept down, write an outline of the strategy you use to solve the problem. After you fully understand the chapter, start on the homework. If the homework problems are even numbered, you can check the answers to those in the back of your book. Always make sure that you understand what you are doing rather than just doing to finish your homework quickly. I'm not going to lie, chemistry will be the hardest class you have taken so far, and of course the homework will be difficult. What I find very helpful to do when I'm doing long homework assignments is to do small amounts of problems at a time. Doing a whole chem assignment all at once is very stressful. You can avoid doing all the chemistry homework at once by not procrastinating and using the days given to do an assignment. Do your homework and you will be successful.
Before tests. Chemistry tests may seem like the end of your life, and you may do badly on your first test. But you probably won't because the first tests are pretty easy. They're probably just on naming ions. So in this case, make your flashcards and study them when you're on the train, or when you're about to go to bed, or whenever you have free time. You don't have to go through all of them at one time, but if you're continuously looking at them and testing yourself, you'll recognize them pretty easily by the time you have to take your test. Just make sure that you start studying a few days before, because each day you study, you'll retain information from before and you can keep adding and reviewing. That way, when you get to the day of the test, you aren't freaking out. This is why you take notes in class, do self-check exercises, and complete assignments, so you already, in a way, do a lot of studying and preparing for the test. The later chemistry tests are really all about a particular process you use over and over for the different variables. So if you look in your book or look online for how to do that process, you can apply it to any question. Again, have character and compassion, and help your peers out on things they don't understand. Don't make fun of them or think they're stupid, because in my class, there were some chapters that some people were really good at, and then other chapters they were bad at, but other people were good at.
After you take a test, look over it. If you did bad on the test, it's okay, you can retake it. But before you retake the test, make sure to analyze the test and highlight everything you did wrong. Look at each problem individually and identify your mistake. Once you know what you did wrong, redo the problem to get the right answer. Understand the concept before you move on to the next problem. Once you do this for all the problems, reread the chapter, look over homework, and look over the labs from class so you can ensure that you fully understand the concept. Going to chem tutoring after a rough test is always a smart idea. Even after a good chem test, you want to make sure that you understand everything and don't forget it because you will see it in the future. Chemistry's concepts build off of each other. So what you learned in the last chapter, you will see in the future, so make sure it sticks in your head.
I wouldn't say I love chemistry because I was never a math and science person, but I will say I've grown an appreciation for it because it's one of the most interesting classes you will ever take. You'll appreciate it because you can see how it directly relates to the real world. It explains why so many things happen. You can see it in ingredients, labels, cooking, medicine, explosives, natural materials, and not to be cheesy, but the real world. Good luck on your year of chemistry.